Hallå ja! Hallå, tjena, hey! Hi, I'm Maja, welcome. You can find me as sjomajlin on Instagram and Ravelry and YouTube. There is a group for the podcast on Ravelry, it's called sjomajlin group. You're very welcome to join. And you all are very welcome to use the questions / what do you want to hear about thread. Hi, today is Saturday the 22nd of November. This is the first day in I think a month that we have clear sky and the sun has been out. It's been lovely. And today I think you will be able to see my beautiful orchid. Let me see, right over here. I'm so happy it's up there. And there are so many, what do you say, buds that are gonna bloom in a while. And you caught a glimpse of my neighbor as well. Yeah, I've been home. Excuse me. That might be. I've been home this week. Also, taking it easy. So I feel like, because usually when a week has passed, stuff has happened. But I've been sort of just sitting here. And I needed that. That is a good thing. Even though it sounds a bit sad, but yeah, it's a good thing. I've been watching a lot of knitting podcasts that has been like even more wonderful than usual. But other than that, I've been sort of just watching, you know, sort of mindless stuff because I haven't had the bandwidth within my brain to take in information or stuff. And this color keeps on flipping up. It's a knit sweater, but it's store-bought, so it's nothing to show. Yeah, so I've been, it feels like nothing has happened. It doesn't really feel like it's been a week even. But I've got some done, so I want to share that with you. I am working on the elder tree shawl. I don't remember who it was by. I haven't gotten, I think maybe just one row or something. Usually having a project just laying around, not being worked on, is a stress factor for me. It hasn't really been, at least not this week. So I'm thinking, as long as I don't really feel the urge on working on that, maybe it should just rest. I still like it, I want to have it done, I want to knit on it, I want to have it finished, I like it, but yeah, not right now. I did finish the socks, the huge socks for my friends. I showed you I had them like, what, 3/4 done last time, so it's not that. They were a size 45. I think that might be a men's 13 or something like that. They were huge. I did finish them and I did send them in the mail to that friend, so I don't have them to show you. But I did finish them and I posted a picture on Instagram, and they were nothing. They were plain, except for I made a garter sole on them. So not really anything to show anyway. So I finished those. I also did finish. I started and finished a pair of mittens. Another pair of Gudrun mittens. You can find them on Ravelry. By Maria Lärking, or is it Asfaltsflickan? That's her nickname. I don't know whether the design is under her real name or her nickname. But they're called Gudrun anyway. And I really like them. And I showed you a pair, the last pair that I did. How do I show the thumb? There. Last time or the time before that? Last time I think. So I'm happy with these. The purple yarn is the same as I made in the other pair, which is the opal sock yarn in a purple. The color is 3072 if you're interested. Yeah, I was looking for the content, virgin wool and polyamide. So it's the same purple as, well, I've got them right here in that pair as well. And the other yarn I used was, where is it? There, Svarta Fåret's Let's Knit. I showed you this last time as well. It's a, what is it? It's a gradient, I believe. Superwash and polyamide as well. This is, can you see that? It's a little bit fuzzy. It's not really a halo, but it's, you can see it somewhat, right? So the actual mittens are, can you see that? Yeah, they're a little bit fuzzy, or yeah, I like that. But compared to these, because these are like, there's nothing, but these are a bit fuzzy. And also the contrast in these are clearer. In this, it's, depending on the light, it's harder to see. I think that when you're doing contrasts, it's sort of a span that you need to have between the colors, or the contrasting colors. And I think that this might be like in the, you know, sort of close, sort of in the, what do you say, like close to the edge of not working, but I think that they work. Obviously it's easier to see up here, where the lighter yarn is lighter, and down there it's, they blend together more. But I really do like these. And what I found that I really, really like is that the top of my sock blockers are perfect for mittens. Because I wanted to stretch, I did the same on these actually, I wanted to stretch the, I soaked them and then I put to stretch, no, to relax the floats in the stranded color work, and then I wanted to stretch them a little bit, so that worked out perfectly. So I finished those, I'm happy with them. And those are my FOs, so the socks and those are the knitted FOs. Then I did finish, yes I did, I just finished the spinning, the second single, right before, like, the night before I recorded last time, and I showed you the broken spindle. So I've been emailing the lady who I bought it from, and I didn't get an answer, and I didn't get an answer, and then I got an answer. She was like, I'm sorry about that, send the broken pieces to me and I'll see what I can do. So I was like, no, because I had already had this idea, because this, I don't know what it's called, but the stick was cracked and sort of, you know, pointing outwards, and the hook was loose, and even if I had, you know, I could put it in so it was held in place, but the wood was out at angles and the fiber caught on it. So what I did was that I took the hook out, I put some glue in the can it focus? Yeah, in the hole, and then on the outside, and then as you can see I took some string. I think this might be cotton and linen, because I think it's like a weave, like a cloth weaving. I don't know what's it's called. So I put that there, and then I wound it tightly so that the wood how do I show this? So that the wood came together, the cracks came together. And then obviously I put the end inside again, and I screwed the hook back in and let the glue dry, of course. And so to try it, I used this spindle to ply the yarn, and so far it really works. I'm happy with this. This is it's pretty hard from the glue, and it holds it together, and the fiber won't catch, and I think this is good. Yeah, so I did that. And then I plied up this yarn, so it's a 2-ply, and I don't know what the fiber content is. It's very soft, and you can see that I tied it up with some contrasting yarn, because that was what was closest. This is 150 plus meters, somewhere between 150 and 160, and I'm pretty happy with it. It's not super consistent in width or thickness, but it's yeah, I'm happy with it. Anyway, actually, it's let me see if I can find some good strands to show. It is fairly thin compared to what I've done before, even though it's plied. This is a 2-ply. The last yarn that I plied was I chain plied that, so it obviously 3 strands which makes it thicker. I might have plans for this, but I'm not sure yet. I'll show you in a minute. But I'm gonna make something with it. And I think that it will knit up pretty, because knitting it up also sort of smoothens the inconsistencies. Is that a word? It evens it out a little bit as well. So I think it will be... I mean, I think it will look handmade, but if it does look handmade in a good way, that is a good thing. And it's... I'd say that color is pretty good. What's the word? Color representation? It's pretty much what I see there. It's what... Yeah, okay. 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 So that is sort of an FO as well, because I plied that up. I wound it up into... what do you say? I hanged it, and then I did the dipping in hot water and cold water, hot water, cold water, hot water, and then I soaked it, and then it's been dried, and then I just... Yeah. So, what I'm thinking I might make with it is what I started in this yarn, which is leftovers from the socks that I knit. It's this, it's Svarta Fåret sock yarn as well, in greens. As well, but it's the same Svarta Fåret as well as this. Svarta Fåret means the black sheep. That's the brand name. I'm just thinking back. What did I say? I didn't say I knit these on size 2mm needles, but maybe that's not important. Okay. Because I'm knitting I'm knitting this on size 4. My Knit Pro wooden, what is it, like Harmony something. Interchangeable. And this is it's gonna be hat, and I don't know how to pronounce it. It might be like capuchin, capuchin. I don't know. I don't think I've put it up on my project page yet either, but I'm gonna do that. Let me just see, because I have a laptop right here, if I can find the... It's obviously not there. Oh, come on. Anything about what it might be called so that you can find it if you want to find it. Oh, it's not there either. Where do I have it? Do I have it in my queue? It's a free pattern anyway, so it should be somewhere. I don't know where I've hidden it. Yeah, so I'm one of those highly prepared podcasters. It's spelled Capucine. Cappuccini. It's by Adela Ilichmanova. Yeah. Yeah, I will put it up on my project page as soon as I get around to it. If you want to check that out, it's gonna be like this, and these sort of flaps are gonna be. So I haven't really seen the construction, but it's gonna be like split in the back, but it's gonna join back here. So it's, yeah, it's a little bit different I don't know, but the construction, it's a little bit different than like a normal hat anyway, and I think it looks really cute. So I'm gonna try, or obviously I'm knitting one of them in this yarn, and if I like the construction, and because I think I have enough yardage in the handspun, but when I'm done with this I'll know pretty much how much yardage I need, and then I might do one in this. This is, by the way, doesn't really matter, but I think it was 30, 60, like 73 grams or something. I think I bought it as 3 times 20, but I think it was more. So it's not 100 grams. Anyway, it's less than 100 grams. Yeah, it was 70-ish. Yeah, so I started that. Obviously I haven't gotten very far, but I think that will be a fairly quick knit, because it's not tiny. As I said, it's knit on size 4mm needles. So I'm working on that. I did cast on yesterday for a sweater that I want to make, depending on how much yarn I have left when I get a bit further down, and I'm making tea same time as I'm talking. I want to make it sort of tunic length. This is the Silencio. Which is acrylic, new wool, or yeah, superwash, and alpaca. So it's 50% acrylic, and then it's 25-25. So it's half natural and half, what do you say? Unnatural. What do you say though? Konstgjorda fibrer. I don't know. It's pretty chunky. It calls for what? It calls for 6 to 7 size, 6 to 7mm needles. I'm knitting this on my Knit Pro interchangeable as well, size 8. So they are not tiny, and I think I think I'm more of a loose knitter rather than what's the other, dense knitter? What's the other, tight knitter? But I think that this fabric, even though I have it on a larger needle, I think it's, I mean, it's obviously not airtight or anything, but it's pretty dense. And since it's so thick, I'm thinking it's gonna be pretty warm as well, because I'm gonna have this as like an indoor piece of clothing, and it's usually not freezing, so I didn't want it too dense. Yeah, I'm knitting this top down with the contiguous shoulder, which I just, you can see, here's the neck, and here's the shoulders. You can see that there is like a, there is the shoulder seam, and then here is like the shoulder cap and shoulder or arm seam part of it, and I haven't gotten very far. And I'm happy with that so far. It says in the description, it's also a free Ravelry download for the construction of the shoulder. Otherwise this is, I'm improvising this. But it says that you shouldn't knit it too far, because it would be sort of pointy on the shoulder. But I do want this to be sort of a low hanging, because I want this to be big. I want the arms to be fairly tight, but I want the like the body of this to be big. So I want it to be like off the shoulder. So I made it pretty long. So I don't know, I'll have to knit a bit further and then divide for the sleeves, and then I think I'll be able to see. Yeah, but I like the construction so far anyway. Because it says in the description that it could be a little bit fiddly, figuring out how many increases you need to make to have it even, or yeah. I'm happy with it so far, as I said. I'm making in the middle of the front, I'm making a section, and now I'm confused because it's called moss-stickning in Swedish, this, but I'm not sure that it's moss stitch in English, because I think moss stitch must be even like chunkier. Is it seed stitch, or is seed when you have, I don't know. I don't know, but I'm doing that anyway, like for 10 stitches, so it's gonna be just on the front. Other than that, it's just gonna be like plain. So that is the interest going on. And for the neck lining, I did cast on, and then I knitted two rows, I think, of knits in the round, and then I did a purl row, and then I did 2 more rows of knits, and then I did sort of pick up the excuse me, the cast on loop, and knitted it together with the stitch that I was knitting, so that it folds in half. So you can see, this is the wrong side, but you can see that there is, for the neck part, it's folded over, and with the purl row at the fold, it makes for, well, since this is a big gauge, it's very obvious. But if you make it in a smaller, like for permittance or something, it might be, well, it's absolutely not a picot edging, but it makes for a pretty nice edge, I think. And it also folds very well. It won't roll or anything. And as I said, here I think I just did 2 rows of knits. So it's not very far, but you can make it farther. I made it in a hat once, so that all of the brim was double for warmth. So then it was pretty long between the well, in the fold. Yeah, so I started it like that, and I'm happy with it so far. We'll have to see. It knits up fast since it's so chunky, and I think that will be good. I did also start a pair of mittens yesterday. Yeah, that you will see in just a few seconds. What I usually do when I make mittens, which is not something that I do like all the time, but when I do, because I like the thumb gusset. I don't like mittens without the thumb gusset. And in this there is the sort of thumb gusset construction. Obviously it's color work as well, but you can see it very clearly that the thumb gusset has, it's like the increases are at the edge, so it's further between, more stitches between the increases at the sort of top of the gusset, which makes, if you look at it like sort of like that, it makes, there is an angle between, what do you say, it sits like at an angle, the stitches, the direction of the stitches. What I did as I knit up this, which is not really a hoe, but it's almost a hoe, I tried another thumb gusset, which maybe you can see the actual, like the direction of the stitches doesn't it's not an angle, it's they point the same direction. Do you understand what I mean? I hope you do. And how I did that was by making pretty much a, oh, how do I even show this? Like that. Can you see it right here? It's so hard to show the thumb because it's pointing towards me. But if I do like this, so I'm poking my long finger through the thumb, so you can see that it's pretty much a raglan spine that goes right here, and it's hard to show just with the angle of my hand. But that makes it so that the increases are always, I had just one stitch between, so the increases are always at the same place, because when you do sort of this thumb gusset, as I said, it's more stitches between the increases at the top of the thumb gusset, but in this it's always that same spot. Do I make sense? So I tried that and I like how that looks. And obviously I haven't done the thumb yet, so I don't know, that might change it. I don't think it will, like the way it looks, but I'll have to see that when I get there. What I also did was I experimented with the cuff, and I just did this super like minimalistic or plain. I just cast on, joined in the round, and off I went. So it's gonna roll a bit because stockinette rolls, but I don't mind. I think it looks pretty good actually. I did make it a bit longer than I think I might have done otherwise, so that it's okay if it rolls, and also because it's not ribbing, it's not as snug or tight as a ribbing would be. So it's also you can pull it up a bit further, either under your coat sleeve, or like if you want to put it on top of your sweater sleeve. Yeah. So I'm making those. I started this as well. I haven't got very far at all. I'm playing a little bit of yarn chicken with this. I have a 50 gram ball, and I think this is 23 grams. So it should be fine for this. But I was thinking I'll wait to do the thumb, because I might do the thumb in a contrasting color, because there is going to be a motif, whoa, on the top of the hand in yellow. So I'm thinking, if depending on how much yarn I have left, I might do the thumb in yellow as well. So it's a pretty pale yellow. It's the same that I used for this scrap. And I was thinking about, because it's just going to be on the top, so I didn't want to make it stranded color work, because I'd have to carry the float all the way around. And it's not going to be for like haul, because I was thinking I could do something just in the palm for not having to just carry the yarn, but it's not going to be for the entire length of the hand. It's just going to be for like a part of it. So I was thinking it would be sort of weird to have just color work there for the palm. Yeah, I was thinking back and yeah, and then I was starting to be there light. I was starting to plan for making intarsia, but it was gonna be so many ends to weave in that I just felt like, I don't know if it's, I really don't feel like doing that. So my plan now is to just knit up the motif in the pink, the yellow obviously, and then just attach it like an applique, just put it up there and just sew stitches along the edges, because I think that will be less work actually than doing, because the intarsia is fine, it's all the weaving in of ends that I really don't feel like actually. So even with the thumb, this is not really a half object yet, so I have some more to do on those. But I think that they will be good. I knit these on my short Knit Pro Carbon DPNs. It's 2.75 mils. And this yarn actually calls for size 4 or 4.5 mil needles. And as I said, I think I'm more of a loose knitter than what the other word ever might be, whatever the other word. Okay. So I usually go down a needle size, but I did go down several needle sizes in this case. So it's a pretty dense fabric, which I think is good, because they're supposed to keep you warm, and if the fabric is if the knitted fabric is too loose, it's gonna be like the wind is gonna go straight through. And also this is Fuga. The yarn, the pink one is the same, except for that it's pink. It's Fuga by Järbo. So it's the same brand as the Raggi and Mini Raggi and Mellan Raggi, as I know that some other people out there are using. And I don't have any of that right now, no. And this is 50% superwash wool and 50% acrylic. So it's not going to be, I mean the superwash is going to keep you warm, but the acrylic is not going to keep you all that warm. But I do think that it's good, because I think this will, I mean the acrylic makes it wear stronger, I think. And they are totally going to be washable, because they might need that. So I'm working on that, obviously, and doing a little bit of experimenting, but I think it's gonna be good. The thumb gusset and the cuff part of that, and then the application, the sewing on fabric, native fabric afterwards. So those are my whips. Actually, did I miss something? No, I did not. Good. yeah. And I do not want to sneeze. I'm not gonna sneeze. Okay. I think that's it. As I said, it's been a very low-key week for me. Super good thing. Even though it might sound a bit sad, that was awesome. So, but not a lot. I've done some. My hands has been fairly busy, but that's pretty much it. So I don't really have a lot to talk about today, which is fine. I do want to mention, I want to say a big thank you to all of you who have reached out. Some have written to me on Ravelry and yeah, Instagram and YouTube and other means of getting in touch. Some of you have written to say that that I'm not alone, really, in having struggles, and I know that, and it's always good to hear. It's always sad to know. It's always sad to know that others are going through stuff as well. Because I wish no one had to, really, but it's also very good to know that you're never alone. So thank you, all of you who did reach out, either to say that I'm not alone or to say that I was brave, or just general internet needing love. And thanks for all the feedback as usual, and the thumbs up and everything. It really means a lot. It really does. And please, as I said, feel free to use the Ravelry thread if you want to. As I said, there is a questions / what you want to hear about thread. If you want to if you have questions for me or for the podcast, or suggestions on what you want to hear about, post them there. Or if you want to sort of discuss something, feel free to use the episode thread, or threads even, if it's something to do with, well, pretty much to do with the episode. Or feel free to start threads if there is something that you want to discuss with me or with others. And feel free to comment on YouTube. Yeah, and or write to me on Instagram, comment on pictures. Yeah, as I said, I've been not so good at, or I haven't been very active, or yeah, I don't know what to say, in the Ravelry group, because if there are like questions, I try to answer them. Sometimes I know that it has been something that I had to look up, and then I forgot to reply, and I thought of it long, after. But sometimes, like in the introductions thread, I read all the introductions, and I'm so happy that you took the time to write and everything. But I'm like, what do I do? Do I say hi to everyone? I want to do that, but it's at the same time it feels sort of weird to just go, if I don't really have anything to say. Yeah, so I've been hesitant about that. But as I said, I do hit the love button a lot. And on comments, if it's not a question, if it's not something that I need to reply to, I get a bit, I don't know, not self-conscious, but I don't really know what to write, and then I'm like, I'm gonna do that later, and later has not come yet, it seems. But that does not mean that I'm not reading. That does not mean that I don't appreciate you writing. Or do you understand what I mean? I hope you do. I think you do. I'll try to be more active as well. But please don't be discouraged by me not being super active on the board. I'm there. I'm reading. Oh, this color. I do read. I'm there. I might not write a lot. I will try to be better at that, but And I mean, if you feel like you're in several groups already, and that's fine. You know, I'm a firm believer in that, like if a thread or a group isn't necessary, it's gonna live, and if it's not necessary, it's gonna sort of self-die, you know, and that is completely fine. That is how it should be. So if my threads don't really feel a purpose, that's it, and that is okay. But if that is how it is, I want it to be because that is what it is, not because I'm sort of discouraging anyone. Do you know what I mean? I'm just rambling. Yeah, my point being, feel free to use this thread. Whoa, I just spilled tea in my lap. Feel free to use the group and the threads if you want to. If you want to start a thread, go ahead. If you want to write in them, if you want to reply, if you want to use them, please do. Or as I said, comment on YouTube, talk to me there, message me if you want to, and yeah, the interaction is awesome, and it really means a lot to me, and you guys are awesome. You know that, right? You are awesome, truly awesome, to die for. Yes, that's it. I'm gonna be quiet. I've been rambling. As I said, I've been home for a week and mostly just been quiet and sticking to myself, so maybe I just needed to do this. So thank you for listening and sticking out with me, because obviously you have done if you're still here by now. And if you turned off, that is okay. Yes, okay. Do take care of yourselves. Be kind to yourselves and be kind to one another, and I hope that you have an awesome weekend, and I hope that you will have an awesome week ahead, and soon it's gonna be December. I've mentioned before that I don't really like November, so I'm happy it's soon over. But I'm hoping you have a better time than me, so take care, do something nice, and have an awesome week or weekend or whatever it is when you see this. Bye.